We created a progressive society because we think it's very important to pull together the three pillars of sustainability. We need a sound and good economy, but only if it doesn't inflict the whole planet, our ecological system, but also our social system. And we're in the middle of a very deep transition in our societies. And for that, we need a just transition, make sure that everybody's on board, meet up to our climate goals, and at the same time have that good and sound economy. And that's why we created Progressive Society, not to just look to climate issues or to social issues, but to pull them together and to have a clear view on how we have to transform our society. I think climate justice is the right wording to make sure that we meet up to what we engaged ourselves in the Paris Agreement, and at the same time make that just transition possible in the European societies. And we now have a lot of European laws, directives in place, but they're not ambitious enough. So I want to outline two very important strategic options. The first is make sure that the economic governance in Europe is changed from economic governance, budgetary rules, to a real sustainability pact for the whole of the European Union. And to be able to do so, we need a real European climate law, and make sure that the social pillar is also put firmly into place. And I think that combination, that will make the game changer in the European Union. As it is important for Europe to have that concept of climate justice, it is important for the rest of the world. We're just not an island on its own. We have to make sure that climate is dealt with at a world scale. And in Europe, we combine the social issues and the ecological issues, and we want to make sure that we can implement them in the rest of the world. And that's why we need a strong Europe in New York. In an ideal world, we would have like an ETS system or a carbon tax in the whole of the world. That would be just, and that would be fair, and it would be very effective. But I'm not naive. We will not achieve in New York that we have one carbon tax or one ETS. So we have to move in different steps. One of the very important means to get there is international trade. We're a very important trading partner, Europe is. And we have to make sure that free trade still exists, that we can have our wealth in the whole world of free and open trade, but based on just trade. Just transition, just trade. And in that sense, Europe can work and make sure that they trade with other parts of the world when they, for instance, make sure that they meet up to the Paris Agreement on climate and make that a real issue, not just an issue at the side, but a real issue within the trade agreements. That's one of the examples.